Badman, LB, Rupert, Albert, and the Bishop Paul Brown. Badman for the 2020-2021. And you know what it is. You know Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego too. This is Paul and Rupert's Word for coming out with a brand new thought, covered under the blood in which we were born. So we know how to get to.
Is for bold, A is for active, D is for determined. When you consider King David valiantly, you have an idea and understanding of where we're taking this. Stay tuned, y'all.
Hallelujah, revive us again.
We are excited to bring fresh commentary, good conversation with two bad men. Boy, you don't want to miss this. Bad Man for Christ. Join us.
Just like Peter when he did his first sermon. As the saying goes, bad men for Christ. That is how we'll be for the rest of our life. Sit back, relax, and enjoy our show because we're stuck in the house with nowhere to go.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Welcome. 2022, Overseer, 2022.
Yes.
Another year.
It's a new year. I want to be the more calm guy this year and be the more sophisticated one on the show this year. I believe all the energy to you. I'm just going to sit back and relax and enjoy the show.
Is that a New Year's resolution?
No,
is that a New Year's
resolution for Christ? Here we are.
Oh,
all
well, let's begin by saying Happy New Year to our listening audience. We truly welcome you back again for another year of the Bad Man Show. And today is January 3rd, Overseer. And tomorrow is going to be our 1 year anniversary.
Yes, sir.
And so we truly appreciate everyone that has been that's been a part of our show, that have worked along with us over the year to make the show what it is to this date.
Yes. We are so grateful for everyone that shows up and that joins us each and every week. If we don't show up every week, but you show up when you can, and we really appreciate it to help the show to be what it is. So we're asking you to still invite your friends, invite your co-workers, invite your enemies, invite everybody to join us on the Bad Man Christ show every Monday. We are looking to go to 1 hour. Today we're going to be 45 minutes, but very soon we're going to go to 1 full hour. Give us 15 more minutes to get some good conversation and some good stuff in. So we really look forward to it. So again, thank you. Like and subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And don't forget to ask questions or comments. We're going to be able to answer them today. But we've got an exciting show for you today. Happy and blessed New Year to you also. But to everyone, or to Pastor Brown, this is the year of resolution. Resolutions are coming in like crazy this year. So
really?
What is your thought about New Year's resolutions?
My thoughts, plain and simple. New Year's resolution only works for disciplined people. That simply means if you are not disciplined, within a month, within 2 months, you're going to throw those resolutions out and act as if you never heard of them.
Wow.
That is my view.
Wow. So you're saying that you have to be disciplined to make a resolution?
I don't know. You don't have to be disciplined to make a resolution. You have to discipline to execute a resolution for 12 months in a year.
Well, what if you don't need 12 months to do a resolution? What if you need 3 months to do the resolution?
Oh, well, now, within 3 months, if you could survive, but I'm talking about most resolution usually lasts for a good period of time.
Well, okay, So is it a type? Because now remember, you're saying discipline. So maybe people are disciplined, but they find they don't have the time because when they made the resolution, they didn't know how much time it was going to take. For instance, they can say, I want to go exercise 3 or 4 days a week. But when you figure out your year comes up, you can't exercise 3 or 4 days a week because you don't have the time. So maybe it's not discipline, maybe it's the time.
But that's a poor attempt of making a resolution. Why wouldn't you sit down, figure out, understand what the parameters are before you actually make a resolution? That's crazy.
No, because sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you just say, okay, I want to exercise. So I'm going to exercise here. I want to lose weight. So I'm going to diet this year, or I want to save more. So I'm going to save more this year. You sometimes don't understand the parameters. Everybody is not an analytic person. Most people are not analytical. Most people are, hey, this is what I want to do. Let's go do it.
So then we support. You ever heard of the SMART goal? SMART.
No,
maybe
never.
maybe they need to actually do a little bit of reading. You just can't come off of the top and say, oh, I'm going to lose 15 pounds. No, you got to specify not only 15 pounds, when you're going to lose it by, how you're going to actually lose it, what activities you're going to engage in, and so forth. If not, you're just throwing out ideas.
So you're saying that the disciples did all of that, or did Jesus say go out 2 by 2 and don't worry about it, you guys are covered? What did he say? Did he say to the 70, go out 2 by 2 and you're covered? He didn't say, you know what, make sure you know where you're going, knows who house you're going to, know how many donkeys you're going to take with. He didn't do that, but guess what? It worked.
No, he gave parameters. He says, go 2 by 2. Don't take any money with you.
Yeah.
If you go to somewhere where they don't entertain you, shake the dust off of your shoes. So he did specify parameters. That's why it worked.
But that wasn't the parameters to get things done. So this is Pastor Hunt. This is Pastor Hunt saying much love and continue blessing. Thank you, Pastor Hunt. Good to see you, man.
Hey, we gotta get him on. We gotta get him back on this year.
Yeah, we definitely do have to get him back on. But besides that, but get away from that and back to the resolution piece here. Jesus didn't give him the parameters for how to. He just gave the parameters for if this happens, hey man, do this. But so a person who says I want to lose weight, they're gonna say, look, I'm gonna lose weight. I'm not gonna eat in the morning. I am gonna make sure I exercise every day, and I'm gonna make sure I drink more water. That's what that doesn't mean they're still gonna make it. They didn't give the specific parameters, how many calories to eat per day. That didn't happen that way. They were guided by, I have a need, or I have a want, I have a desire, and this is what I'm going to do for the year. So resolutions can be very beneficial, even if it just gets you started. Resolutions can be very.
Well, that's the reason why those people fail, because if you're going to make a resolution to lose weight, you need to find out how much calories you should eat per day, how much exercise you should put in per week, in order to make sure you can actually fulfill the goal that you set in that resolution. That's the problem. Folks just want to throw something off at the top of their head and think it's going to work. It doesn't work.
But that doesn't mean they're not disciplined. That means they're not organized. There's a difference. Discipline with organization is different.
Okay.
Usually they're not disciplined. I'm not saying they're not organized. They may not be organized, but they can still be disciplined. They're just running into walls. They didn't know what were going to happen.
So so my argument is, the first case is, my point is, you have to be disciplined, and number two, and then you gotta put the other pieces in order for this thing to work. But to me, discipline is key to making resolution works.
I think you mean organization. Again,
no,
you don't mean discipline. I think you mean organization, because you're pointing it out to us creating the right goals, creating the right parameters. That's organization. And most people aren't organized when it comes to resolutions. And I agree with that. But I wouldn't say they're not disciplined. because they get up to go to work in the morning. They get up to take care of their kids. They get up to take care of themselves, comb their hair, brush their teeth, take a shower, do all those things. Those are disciplined things. So they're disciplined. They're just not organized when it comes to resolutions.
I think our definition of discipline is different.
Probably because you like creating these definitions that come from, I don't know, Paul Brown's dictionary. I don't know where you get them from sometimes, but discipline is something where you're saying I am able, or the person is able to completely repetitively do a task. That is a disciplined person. That's not, so there's people who can do it, but they're not organized.
So my definition,
okay,
a disciplined person is able to do what needs to get done in the time whenever the situation presents itself. So if a person is a disciplined person and they say they're only going to eat one meal a day, they go to work and all of a sudden the boss decides to buy lunch for the next week. That person says, I have already designated that I'm only eating dinner each day. So they will step up to the plate and say, boss, thank you so much for meals every day for the next week, but I will not be able to do it. Most people is like, wow, a free meal.
No. Most people are not.
All right.
No.
Let our audience decide.
You will let the audience bring their thought in, but I don't know. Now, Sister Marion is saying, okay, a lot of us should set a resolution to be honest with ourselves and realistic. And I agree with that. We need to be honest with ourselves. And again, I say it's based on your organizational skills. I'm not very organized. So to be honest, I probably don't do resolutions. If I do a resolution, it's going to be something that is realistic to me. And I think it should be something that we should just, so I know I can achieve. Those resolutions I take forward before me. I will tell myself I want to do something.
I have one support, but
that's because it's a brown. It's a brown. They're both browns. They're two browns. Sister Tanisha, you're a brown. I can't. You're just going. If you were a Johnson, you would have came on my side. I'm not going down.
But I like to go back. I like to go back to Marion's and say, why is it that we need to make a resolution to be honest with ourselves? Don't you see that something is missing there, overseer? Why should we? We should be honest with ourselves. We should be making a resolution to be honest with ourselves.
No. I think what she's saying, right again.
There's another brown.
It's a brown. I'm not even going there. Any of those come in because obviously you guys read the wrong of discipline. But the resolution is that this year I'm going to be honest with myself. It's not that we should be, but I'm resolving to make sure that this year I'm not going to be cloudy. I'm not going to think I can do all these things. I'm going to be honest. It's a good point. We should make resolutions to be honest with ourselves. And next year, as we're honest with ourselves, we can make an honest resolution.
Maybe we should ask her what she means by honest, because I'm thinking what she meant by honest is that folks are not being honest. Not exactly what you're actually saying, overseer. I'm saying folks are really being deceptive to themselves. They know that they have a problem and they're going to make a presentation as if they don't have a problem.
Right, but that's the part of being honest with yourself. You first have to resolve to make sure, because most people, I don't know if most people, I would say that the majority of people aren't honest with themselves. That's the majority of people.
I agree. That's you're saying my point.
But that's what Sister Marion was saying, though. She was saying that we should make a resolution to be honest with ourselves, because most of us aren't. Most of us are looking through clouded glasses or looking through a clouded veil of who we are. And I know I could do the same things. I remember 20, 30 years ago when I was 30. It was the funniest thing. I was in great shape. I was an athlete. I used to do great things as an athlete. I could run. I could do all these different things. But I started working and traveling. And literally, I stopped working out, stopped doing a lot of sports. I was traveling way too much and I was gaining weight. But when I looked in the mirror, I looked the same way until one day I stepped on a scale and I saw that I weighed about 50 pounds more than I thought I weighed. And I was like, oh man, this is horrible. So I wasn't honest with myself. We sometimes look through cloudy glasses.
Overseer, you can't tell me that you're at your big tummy and know that you had no tummy in high school and go try and tell me that you said you look the same way? Come on, Overseer.
I did not have a big tummy. I just was heavier. I bulked out. My legs got heavier. My body got heavier. Then now it's a tummy like I do now. I don't have the bishop's tummy now like I have now. I just bulked out. And I didn't know, because when you look at the mirror forward, you're not seeing your big tummy. And it's what happened. It's exactly what happened. My wife can attest for me. I called her one day and I said, oh my God, I didn't know I weighed this much. So yeah.
And so what?
But a bunch of people are saying a bunch of things, and the producer's bringing them in way too quickly, and we not able to answer them. So let's go back one, so that way we can respond to folks the correct way. So producer, can you bring us back?
No, that's Marian. He's at the first one. No, let him bring back Marian first.
This was first.
She was first, right?
No, it was the previous one was first.
Okay, the previous one was first. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Right. It takes discipline to work out every day. You organize what time you will work out daily. And I agree, but that's where organization comes in. If I don't organize what I'm doing, I can't be disciplined. Before you can be disciplined, you have to have a plan. Before you can be disciplined, you have to have a plan. And I cannot be disciplined if I have no plan. If I have a plan, I can be disciplined. That's what you do. Before you do, I was a coach. Before I run my kids through the workout, you were a coach too, Bishop. Before you run your kids through the workout, you wrote down what goals and achievements you expect them to have, or what game plan, what practice plans you expect them to have. Before you can be disciplined to follow that, you have to be organized. If you're not organized, there's going to be no chance for discipline.
Okay, so can you be organized, have no discipline?
No, you cannot be. But can you be organized and have no discipline? Of course, you can be organized and have discipline, because once you're organized, you know your game plan. And if you're not following your game plan, you're not disciplined. But if you are following your game plan,
can we have a truce then? The truce is we need both.
No. Mine is you need to be organized. Because once you set your parameters, now you realize, wait a minute, I tried this, so you were disciplined, but now I failed because I could not do this because it was too much. I was more than I thought it was. So of course
I'm gonna get back to that. Let's go on to the next one. I'm gonna get back to you.
Bishop, it's being honest in the sense that we know our capabilities, that we try to do things that we know are far-fetched or to please individuals. That's what I said. Yeah, I agree.
So in other words, then don't try to say you're gonna lose 15 pounds when you know that how much you love food. 5 pounds might be a better goal.
No. What I think the way I look at it would be, don't say you want to lose 15 pounds because that dude over there said you need to lose weight. Don't say you want to lose 15 pounds because the world and society is saying that you should be 140 pounds in this. You lose 15 pounds because you want to lose 15 pounds. That's what you want to do for yourself so you can feel better. Another Browns is the same thing. I don't have time for these things. So that's, yes, organization and discipline are very different. I agree with that. Yes. But that's what I was saying about with honesty, right? With honesty. When being honest with yourself is saying, look, I'm not doing this to please others. I'm doing this to please myself because I need this for me. If I don't lose this weight, I'm going to die. If I don't stop smoking, I'm going to die. If I don't stop this, I'm going to die. That's what I think is being honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, quadruple ums. So let's get to the next point, because we've talked about this resolution. And so churches make resolutions too, don't they? Don't churches make resolutions? Or not your church.
Goals.
Don't
Churches,
many churches
make goals.
Goals and resolutions. Goals can be resolutions.
Churches make plans, because if you don't plan, if you fail to plan, you know what the consequences are. So
Yes.
planning is critical for churches. If you have no plans at all, you're gonna fail. So you have to have certain plans at the beginning of the year to move forward.
Okay.
If you want to define those planning as resolutions to a certain aspect, I may go along with you. Not all the way, but planning is essential for ministry. Just like planning is essential for individuals, as you said, resolution, because resolution is a form of executing certain, specifying certain plans. So yes, churches must plan. Ministry must plan.
True. I want to get back to that. Do you know, I just looked at the comments, and our producer didn't put up any of the folks that agreed with me up there.
Because nobody agrees with you.
They did. I had people who were saying, amen. Do you want to make you feel better? You didn't put up one thing. Wow. Okay.
Overseer.
Okay.
Overseer. Nobody agrees with.
So for those who agreed with me, trust me, your comments were read. I read them. Thank you so much. Yeah, there were people who agreed with me. The last name wasn't Johnson though, so they didn't put them out there. Wow. Okay. So let's get back. Let's get back to your statement about planning. All right. So this is the thing. I'm going to ask this question then. Should churches create marketing teams, and should they create a budget, small or large, for advertising activities like streaming or like any activity for the church? Should churches create marketing teams for that? To thank you, brother, because I need some love right now, because boy, I tell you. But should they create marketing teams to help market the church or the purpose of the church?
All right, so I'll say my position is. I'll say my position. My position is that the Great Commission is the operating principle for the church, and it must be employed, and we must employ it to accomplish what Jesus called us to do. So I am a Great Commission principle kind of person, right? It is my view that the execution of the Great Commission requires interactions of individuals sharing the gospel one-to-one. My view of church marketing is the church is that's being done by cooperation, that comes in, define a certain type of a process, hand it over to the leadership, and executes that. So I view marketing as an aspect of taking the day-to-day operating principle of the Great Commission, talking to individual, sharing the gospel, the testimony, and taking that aspect of it out and put it in some type of corporate operation.
Okay, so my position is that from the very beginning, that there has always been marketing and advertising for the kingdom of God, because the marketing is not always it's not monetary. It's not, you don't have to spend money to market. There's many ways you can market, many ways you can advertise. But in today's world, in today's society, I believe that to reach people, that marketing will be essential. And you have to make sure that as a church, you do have certain plans for how you're going to market certain things, because to reach some of the world, and especially the untapped church or the untapped people who not have a piece of church, you need marketing to do it. You need materials to do it. And you need a team that is key to what the Great Commission is, but also key to how to reach people in a way that suits the vision for your church, because every church doesn't have the same vision, doesn't have the same plan. So you have to make sure they suit the vision of your church, because I don't want you marketing what the church that has 10,000 people do versus what you only have 100 people do because you don't have the finances to do it.
So to get back to my position, so your aspect of marketing, does it entails the actual individual, the believer and their activity go make disciples of men, and the way how they do it by witnessing, by sharing the gospel? Or you looking at marketing as this is the mission of my church, I put it out there on the internet, our church does this, I have a little snapshot of the choir singing, I have some picnic aspect? Is that what your projection of marketing is?
No, marketing is a holistic projection marketing, right? There's many areas of it. What you just said is one of the areas, but the other area of it is, discipleship. How am I going to disciple? How am I going to lead people? Am I going to do things? Am I going to put things in hospitals? Am I going to reach out to various rescue missions or various shelters? Am I going to reach out to the Salvation Army? Am I going to create a dynamic here at this church? Or what is my dynamic here at this church? Or the ministries I'm going to create to help me bring people to Christ through the gospel. I might do it through internet. I might do it through radio. It's a good point that Brother Joe made. I might do it through radio. We went from radio. Now it's going to be through internet. It might be through many different aspects of it, but I need to market. I need to make sure that I have finances given to marketing because I do need to reach people. The days of people coming to the door and coming into the church and receiving Christ because of preaching and the choir and things, they still have it, but it's not going to be as effective. To be a great marketer, to have good marketing is a good strategy to help grow the church, but you have to do it through the Great Commission. That's what I'm saying.
But the Great Commission requires people. I'm viewed marketing in the way you present it as corporation. I'm viewing with a budget where somebody is designing a flyer, where somebody is designing a video, where somebody is designing some type of technology media aspect, and they throw it out there. I'm looking at that's how I'm viewing marketing. And that seems to take away from the requirement that the individuals in the church need to go out and share the gospel with their neighbors, their friends, and their family. If you're spending all of that money doing marketing, if you got that big budget, it comes up advertisement on television, advertisement in the local media, Facebook. What is the believer doing?
Watching it and then coming to it because of it. that's what they're doing. They're seeing it and saying, "Oh, I want to go there." Why do you? Okay, first of all, let me bring it all the way back. Let's just bring it right. The best marketing material ever created has sold more copies than any other marketing material in the world. Is what? The Bible. That is a marketing material that was done and created over hundreds of years, written down and duplicated, and cannot be outdone by any other marketing material. Why? Because it has so much power and so much life in it. It's so visual. It is the very best marketing material that is the most recognized, even more recognized than Michael Jordan and LeBron James in all the world. You can bring the Holy Bible to the deepest, darkest place of Africa and say, "Look at this marketing piece I have for you. This can change your life." And guess what? It still works.
That Bible is not going to do anything unless somebody is having that Bible in their hand. Really? And somebody is saying, this is the word of the Lord. Really? Somebody, the Bible really? The Bible is just not going to get into somebody's hand. It takes a believer. It takes a believer.
It takes a what?
It takes a believer.
A person. It takes a person.
It takes a believer. The Great Commission is the thing, overseer. It is the tool.
You mean it takes a person? Because to tell you the truth, there are people right now who preach the gospel who preach it and don't even believe it. Who preach and don't even believe it. They just want to make the dollars, but yet people are looking at that book as being powerful. And you know I'm right, don't you? You know I'm right. Y'all see the smile coming out because you know that I'm right. There's people who preach this gospel who give you that book who don't even believe in it. Oh my goodness. Come on. It's the mark. It's what's in it. It's the piece. It's the marketing of the great Bible.
The commission require. I hear. So what I want to say to you, you are saying, but you're not agreeing with me that the marketing aspect today, in order to use it on the technology, and on Facebook, on social media, and Instagram, if those do not encompasses some interaction with a believer, it's not effective.
Are you saying that's what you want me to agree with?
That's what I want you to agree with.
I don't agree.
Because I'm not agreeing with a corporation making a flyer. I'm not agreeing with a corporation putting out a video and saying, this church, we preach the love of Jesus Christ. Or this church, or a video of a baptism. Or are they putting out a video of a picnic? That emphasize a relationship, or a community, a fellowship. I'm saying that when the individual goes out and demonstrates it to the unbeliever, that is what the commission, the Great Commission, requires.
Okay, so do you have a church sign out front of your church?
Yes.
Why?
The church sign on further my church define what my church is.
No. It tells you it's a church. It doesn't define your church.
It says what a church is. Yes.
It defines your church. So you have First Pentecostal Church Apostolic.
Yes. The label is out there. Yes.
It's all out. Men, women, children, and all that stuff.
Yes.
And that's all it's for.
That's time. Yes. That is specifying the time. Yes. Okay.
It has no other issue, no other purpose.
That's all it does.
So you mean that somebody's driving by who doesn't understand church, doesn't understand what Pentecostal means, doesn't understand what apostolic means, can look at the church and say, "Oh, I don't know if that's a church or not."
No. It will say it's a church.
Okay.
So they will actually say it's a church.
And
right.
then they will also know when your services are.
Because I specify the time.
Everybody stand outside there saying to the person, "These are the time of the services, and this is what's going on." They didn't do that. That the sign is doing it all by itself.
Exactly.
So regardless of if somebody ever spoke to that person driving in that car, they'll be able to know exactly who you are.
Yeah, because that's what the sign says.
That's marketing.
Yeah, okay. But what I'm saying is that marketing is not going to win the person. Somebody got to talk to the person about Jesus Christ.
Marketing isn't meant to make you buy it. Marketing is to make you be aware of it so you can buy it. The reason why advertisements come on is not so you buy it. Advertising come on so you're aware of it, so you go look to see if you want to buy it.
Okay.
So,
all right.
So when I put that piece on the internet that says this is who we are, and we make it look pleasing, and I pay a little bit more to jump into the front when people are searching and they see it. I'm not saying it's because you see it, you're going to buy it. I'm going to say because you see it, you're aware of it and aware of who we are and where we are. And now when you come, now guess what? Now I go into a different aspect of the business world, and I go into teaching and selling and giving you information. But it's always going to come down to I've got to market first. That's what Jesus did. He had 12 salesmen that when he left them there to teach and to train people how to market the church.
Our overseer, all right, I hear you, but our audience is crying out, and we don't want to lose them. So bringing back Mr. Walsh's question. So
we got a ton of stuff coming on. Ton of stuff. Let's get a bit here. So we start with Taffany. She's again Taffany. Oh, okay. Went to Mr. Walsh.
No, Bishop. Flyers and person to person are old tech. You can cut out 500 flyers to 500 to 500 folks, or make one TikTok that will be seen. I'm Mr. Walsh. I do not disagree. Do not disagree. Do not disagree. The point I am making, Mr. Walsh, is simply this: that you could spend $500 to X amount of dollars to create an excellent TikTok, because it costs to create the TikTok. And that TikTok is going to make your ministry, as overseer says, aware of certain aspect. What I'm saying is, an individual, if I equip the church with the Great Commission, I know that is effective without spending all that much money.
I would have to agree with Ken that, and what he's saying is that the amount of time it will take me as an individual to reach 500 people, it's much quicker for me to create something that will reach twice as many. They might not reach 800,000 because, again, TikTok is up to viewership, right? So I'd have to worry about that. But I have the capability of reaching much more people with a lot less effort.
I'm not disagreeing with that. Yes, it is.
That's what it is.
Is the effectiveness. That has to be measured. Reach them, but I'm not sure I'm gonna get them.
Okay, so before we answer this, because I think this is a good point. So for you, you're saying that marketing is not effective.
No, I did not say that. I said you have to. For my budget, for our church, I would have to spend the time to see how much I would have to allocate for marketing, and how much I would have to, and make the decision with what I do for equipping. Because on a basis, I've seen where people spend thousands of dollars, especially in these times. Folks have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to make sure they have this excellent presentation on Facebook and YouTube. The best equipment, the best cameras and all kind of stuff. And I'm able to spend a $200 and $250 camera and be able to reach just as many people, potentially reach as many people as they can with their thousands and thousands of dollar equipment. And I'm not certain that the ratio of effectiveness is there.
But it has to be said that the possibility of them reaching more, depending upon the market they're trying to reach, can be dependent, because certain people like to see a certain quality. For instance, and we know it's true because you can have a choir and you can also have a very good choir. And people are going to come to your church and hear your choir and say, nope, I don't like the choir. And go different churches because they like the choir better, because the quality of the sound of the choir, even sometimes the quality of the sound. Matter of fact, we have preachers who go to school, spend thousands of dollars to learn how to preach well and how to deliver well, right? Right. So let's go back, please, to Taffany's point. You brought in another point, and we didn't to Taffany's point. She said a good point here. She said the Egyptian man in charity. He had a word but needed Philip. She's kind of agreeing with you. Okay, he had the Bible, but he needed Philip to teach him the way of the Bible, right? Right. But the Bible was the marketing piece that brought Philip to the Egyptian man. Without the piece of Bible, Philip would never talk to him. Philip would have walked right by, and Philip would have said, no reason to talk to you.
Overseer, Taffany, that's how overseer twists the sentence into his favor.
That's the truth. That is the truth. That is the truth.
Let's fast forward for Elder Johnson's question.
I can't help it.
Okay, to Elder Johnson's now producer. All right, she says, aren't your churches incorporated? Yes, we are incorporated. Do you all have to file an annual? We are not required by law to file an annual report.
Yes, you are required by law to file an annual report. You are required by law to file an annual report. What are you talking about? If you're incorporated?
No. What is you're required to file? You can do a 990 N. I think it is.
Talking about taxes. She's talking about, do you file an annual report? $25, file the annual report.
Oh yes, I do file it. Yes. Yeah. But overseer, many churches do not file annual reports,
Yeah, and they're out of order. And you and me already know how many churches are out of order in the United States. That's a whole different. We're gonna have a discussion one day, but we're not gonna have it right now. But we know how many churches are out of order right now.
Okay. So that's Boynton. My goodness, you got the Boynton with you.
She says TikTok will do better than a person sharing the gospel. Wow. She's saying in today's, well, now again, I'm not going to totally agree with her, but I do agree. But I think it's also demographic. To a 7-year-old person, I don't think TikTok will do better.
Yeah.
But I think to a younger individual, TikTok will have more effect.
I agree. And that's because they are already at that place. Yes. I can go along with that. But however, though, you need to also make sure that there's a difference between advertising and marketing. Right? Advertising is like the end product of your marketing.
Yeah, but you can't get that. It's the same thing with disciplining and disciplining organization. You cannot get to advertising without marketing. You have to have a marketing team.
Of course, you know the advertising and the marketing is the what and the how. What I am proposing is that the Great Commission is the why. And you know that the why of anything usually lasts much longer than the what and the how.
Yeah, because but you're saying though that I can get to the why, or I can handle the why without the what or the how. It's impossible. You have to have the what or the how to be.
I'm just saying my what and my how doesn't necessarily have to be advertising and marketing at the level that you are proposing.
I'm not proposing any level. I said mine could be free. Mine could be free. For instance, I put the let's go to your sign, and we'll get to Daphne's point. Let's go to the sign again. I have a church sign. Why? Because I want people to know not that exactly what I believe. I want them to know there's a church here that is available to them to come into. Now, somebody saw that church on Facebook, saw my church sign on somebody else's page on Facebook. They were in a different city. I'm in Trenton. They were in Philadelphia. But they saw it. They said, man, I would love to go to that church. What happened? A few months later, somebody invites them to a church. When they get to our church, they say, oh, my God, that's the sign I saw. When they told my wife, she was so excited and so happy because she wanted to come to our church. So my church sign gave the ability for somebody to come to church. And guess what? They gave their life back to Christ.
Let's do Taffany's and
guess what?
Let's do Taffany's. Let's do Marian, and because we're gonna have to wrap up.
Wow, time is going. Okay.
Taffany's. Let's do Taffany's
first, please. Yeah, the producer keeps jumping. Okay, that's Tia. Let's go to Taffany's. She had one before, a very long one. Okay, so I found it. I'm going to bring it in. Okay, the Bible's filled with examples of marketing, the plagues, miracles, blind men who spread the news of Jesus, but it's required a person, especially in the New Testament, to be the vessel. Yeah, but it took marketing or the vessel would not be needed. The vessel was there because of the marketing, because of what they saw. People said, I need something. Now the vessel comes and says, this is what you need. But if you didn't have the different marketing pieces, you would not understand why the vessel was important.
Let's go
again. The 12 best salesmen of all time. Peter.
Let's go to to I think it was Marion.
Marketing is effective. Marketing is effective either social media or otherwise, but what would be more difficult is effective discipleship once you reach the capture an individuals interested and desire to follow the Lord.
Good. Well, let's go to Tia, because we're running out of time.
Mary Marcos Sankor, I think that's Bishop's point. Marketing will get your name out there, but marketing will not save a soul or disciple a person. Is that your point, Bishop?
Of course, that's the point. That's what the commission is. That's what the Great Commission is.
So that's your point. Answer this one question then. How in the world is somebody going to be able to disciple somebody if they don't hear or don't hear? Doesn't the Bible say, how can you hear unless there's a preacher? Right. So how can you hear unless there's somebody who is dealing out the marketing piece of it or selling it to somebody? How in the world? How can somebody say I want to be baptized unless somebody's marketing what you're baptizing about?
You see, so I'll wrap it up by saying again, my definition of marketing, it is a discipline that stimulates a demand for something, whether we're going to use it to stimulate the demand for increased church growth. It's an intentional process that we put in place to get something done. So we're not going to finish this one tonight. Yeah, and we truly want to thank I want to thank our producer. We want to thank Overseer Rupert and each and everyone that engaged in this conversation. This was a good one. And at some point in time, we're going to bring on a marketing expert. And we're going to
for what?
Hammer this point out.
No, I need a marketing expert because I'm not talking about doing marketing.
Oh, you're talking about
stats. I don't need statistics. Take that sign off, please. Take that sign off, please. They don't need that. What we need is it's our opinion. You only get a marketing expert or an expert if I want to show you, okay, this is how you want to market.
Understood.
I'm talking about is it the right thing to do? We're not talking about how to do it. We're talking about is it the right thing to do?
Understood.
And I think that we don't need expert. I think people have their own opinion, and everybody's opinion is fair.
Right.
Is that opinion justifiable? And we're trying to justify our opinion. So I don't need an expert. Right. An expert
that sounds good.
All
right. All right. With that, thank you all so much. God bless you. See you back next Monday.
Love you all.
So sing hallelujah, revive us again. It's the B to the A to the D to the M. So sing hallelujah, revive us again.